If you're ever on Twitter, folks, go check out DC Drano. DC Drano just dropped the news as of 14 minutes ago. Breaking news: Adam Schiff has just been officially censured by Congress. Only 25 representatives have ever been censured in U.S. history. He will have to stand in front of Congress while Speaker McCarthy gets to scold his ass for his role in aiding and abetting illegal spying on President Trump and lying to America for 7+ years. How humiliating for Mr. Adam Schiff. Now, let me show you something here, folks, real quick. I'm actually going to scroll down a little bit and show you what's going on. This feed is 14 minutes old, and look at the numbers on it. We've got 140,000. It just went from 135,000 to 140,000 in 14 minutes. This is going viral, folks. See the numbers over here on the comments, just scrolling away. Go ahead and put me a heart on there because I like it. I like it. Go ahead and check out this guy. Go subscribe to his channel if you haven't already, folks. I follow him and several other great patriots over here on Twitter now just because they're great sources of information as well. So I'd let y'all know. I don't know all the details as far as who helped get this done, but I know when they took a $16 million fine off the table, Miss Luna, Representative Luna, has been pushing for this, the censuring of Adam Schiff, and they got it done, not on the first try, but on the second try, which was this afternoon, just breaking minutes ago. All good stuff, folks. I love to hear it. And he's also going to have to go before the Ethics Committee and I guess have a good talking to over there. They may decide to punish him in one way or another. We'll have to see how that goes at this point. But look at the numbers, folks. They are cruising over here. 8,000 views since I've been talking to y'all in just a couple of seconds. Now I'm going to jump into my story here that I'm going to tell you all about today. This is actually all about Durham. I actually took some notes today. I was listening while I was at work to a little bit about what's going on with Durham. And Matt Gaetz put it better than anybody I know could. Matt Gaetz actually said the things that I thought needed to be said. Now, first off, folks, before I get into this, I want to let you know that Durham did some really good things by exposing this Russia hoax, and he also didn't do enough. And there's no doubt about it. People like Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon have spoken up about this and said, "What the hell happened? It took too long. Nobody went to jail." And so I started writing a pros and a cons list earlier today, and I figured while I was doing this pros and cons list, folks, I would share it with y'all, just let y'all know what I thought about today. And I'm going to hopefully y'all stick around to the end. Matt Gaetz scores this guy up. I'm not even kidding you. He lets Durham know what he thinks about how this investigation went. And I'm just glad to hear Matt Gaetz has got the balls to actually speak his mind. Now, let me go down here and expand the screen. Let me go ahead and read to you first off. The pros on this: the Russia hoax was all proven a lie, and hopefully we won't have to hear about that too much more. At least not from the Democrats. Who knows? The court of public opinion. This is one of the more important pros about this, I would say. The court of public opinion has been exposed to the fact that we've all been lied to. At least the ones of us that didn't know already about what was going on behind the scenes with our FBI and DOJ targeting Trump with this Crossfire Hurricane investigation. And that's actually a pro because it helps expose everything that's going on behind the scenes. Less people trust the FBI today and the Biden administration today behind many things. And this is just one more to add to the list. And so that is actually a good thing for the country. It'll help us in 2024 when people feel like Trump's been vindicated. For all the stuff that they hated Trump for, a lot of people hated Trump for, and now they realize they were just being fed a whole bunch of lies. That'll make anybody want to go vote for the other team. Anybody that's not a crazy Democrat at this point. Let me get back into my list. It says it's another piece of the puzzle. There's no doubt about it, and there's no taking it back. We can now move on with getting into the investigation of the FISA court, changing some of the rules as of Congress is wanting to do here in the next couple of weeks. They want to start talking about how to fix the weaponization issue of these three-lettered agencies, including revising how the FISA court is used as a weapon and can be utilized in the future, which is a good thing. Putting up guardrails. Another thing that I thought was a pro about this, it really seems like it was one of the things that turned a lot of people's mindset around from thinking Trump was a bad guy. I think when a lot of people that thought Trump really did all those Russia collusion crap, wasn't sure about it, didn't have enough information, but thought because they watched enough TV that believed that stuff. I think a lot of those people really have woken up. I really have to believe that a lot of people said, "Wow!" Now they find out that it was all a lie. That's enough for a lot of people to change their mind, and that's great. I just love that. Now let me go ahead into the get into the cons, and there's a heck of a list of them as well. It says no one goes to jail, and you'll hear a little bit about that from Matt Gaetz here directly. Trump trusted Barr in 2020 and had Barr appoint a special counsel, which they approved of John Durham. Not to say anything bad about John Durham, but all this went down because Trump trusted Barr. And if Trump didn't trust Barr, then it would have never went down like this. We could have had somebody else besides Durham doing this special counsel, and maybe got a lot more done. I hate the fact that nobody goes to jail behind this. Only one person was indicted, and he's still practicing the law today. So for being caught lying, I would say it was treasonous myself. Trying to take out a sitting president behind allegations, false allegations. Another one of the cons is the FBI and all the three-letter agencies are still corrupt as can be. One of the other cons that I thought was really kind of sad was John Durham let the statute of limitations run out on the ability to prosecute a lot of these folks that he could have hemmed up. He did not ask the right questions. He did not investigate the right people. He did not do real investigative homework. I mean, he exposed a lot of the weaponization of the government, but as soon as he started getting cock-blocked and had started having to ask for interviews with the Strucks and the McCabe's and the Comeys, and they said, "We ain't doing it." That just kind of ended his case right there. So he actually proved a lot, but he didn't get a lot done as far as being able to help the Republican Party take some of these Biden cronies out to the pasture. And so that alone pisses me off. I hate that it took 3 years to find out nobody goes to jail, but that's the way it is at this point. I don't think even if he had found some people to convict of some crimes, I don't think it would have worked out. I don't think it would have panned out anyway because of the fact the DOJ and the Attorney General are basically on the take at the moment. And I said it, on the take. I wish, say this one more time, I wish Durham would have investigated all leads. That's really where I'm just, damn. He had the ability to do interviews. He could actually get subpoenas done. Didn't do much of that. Not to the right people, anyway. Last but not least, I think Durham is compromised. Bannon said this weeks ago. Said he'd like to stick his foot up his butt just for not targeting and going after these folks that actually perpetrated crimes against Trump for the way they viciously attacked him with all this non-factual garbage. That's all I got for you on the facts. But listen to what Matt Gaetz says here. He destroys Durham with the why are you covering it up? Why didn't nobody go to jail? What's really going on? And you know what? I think
You've given us
Matt Gaetz is
testimony
right.
today that you're disappointed that the FBI didn't cooperate more, right? That was your testimony.
Said that.
Yeah, so we're disappointed too, but the difference is when regular folks do things that are wrong and unlawful, there's typically greater effort to try to get those people before a grand jury, to utilize criminal process where appropriate, not for other purposes. And it's just like, oh, well, Bill Priestep, the guy who might have set this whole op in motion, he just didn't want to talk to you about certain things, and you were real accommodating to that. And then Mifsud, the person who juices Papadopoulos to create this predicate that you find improper. You guys, I mean, did you ever know who his lawyer was, Mifsud's lawyer?
I talked to his lawyer in Europe. I don't know if
so wait, you could find the guy's lawyer, but you couldn't find him?
We contacted somebody that we knew had represented him in a part of the effort to try to locate him.
And you got the lawyer. And then now you're sitting here in front of the judiciary saying you could find the guy's lawyer, but you couldn't effectuate the service of a subpoena because you couldn't find him?
Well,
first of all, silly that sounds?
As you may or may not know, we wouldn't have the authority to serve a subpoena overseas. The lawyer didn't know where Mifsud was. He was in communication with him, but he claimed not to know where he was. And we were.
You hear that bullshit? He could talk to the lawyer. The lawyer could talk to the guy that he's trying to talk to, the guy he wants to subpoena, but the lawyer couldn't get a hold of him for him. That's some bullshit, folks. That is a cop-out excuse if I've ever heard one.
They're trying to arrange an opportunity to talk to Mifsud.
Did you take possession of 2 BlackBerry phones from Mifsud in any way?
There were phones that were provided to us by
so you could find the phones
lawyer.
with the guy.
Correct?
Do you see how silly this looks? Like you found the lawyer, you found the phones, but the actual dude who got ordered by Western intelligence to go start this thing you couldn't find? It's kind of laughable. It seems like more than disappointment. It seems like you weren't really trying to expose the true core of the corruption. You were trying to go at it another way.
Yeah. As we said in the report, and as I said in my opening remarks, we pursued the facts as best we could.
Well, how about this
tools
fact?
that we have?
Okay, how about this fact, Mr. Durham? The entire Mueller team does a hard reset on their Apple phone in synchronization to wipe away evidence. Did you investigate that?
I've read that.
Well, why did you investigate it? Who gave the order on the Mueller team to wipe the phones?
Yeah, that was not something that we were.
Oh, you're going to have to hear his answer. It's not something that we were told to investigate. Come on, dude. You're supposed to be investigating all leads when you're doing investigation. Like if you have a murder case and you find the murder weapon and you think you know who the killer is and you're trying to figure out the motive, you just leave it there because you run into a brick wall because you can't figure out the motive, so you just drop the case? Come on, man.
Asked to look at, and we didn't.
No, that's not true, Mr. Durham. That is not true, because I'm holding the document that authorizes your activity, and it specifically says the investigation of Special Counsel Robert Mueller. It's in Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the order that says that you're supposed to investigate these things. And so, like, whether it's the Mueller team, Mifsud, how about Azra Turk? Azra Turk, what's Azra Turk's real name? Do you know that?
I'm not going to be disclosing the names of FBI personnel that are otherwise unavailable.
But an FBI, so the FBI sends somebody to go honeypot George Papadopoulos. Who gave the order to do that?
I think that's beyond the scope of what's in the report.
It's literally the scope of what your charging order is. Who put it in motion? We get after it was put in motion, the FBI did a bunch of wrong and corrupt things. Totally understand. We're trying to deal with that. But when you are part of the cover-up, Mr. Durham, then it makes our job harder.
Yeah, well, if that's your thought, I mean, there's no way of dissuading you from that. I can tell you that it's offensive and that the people who worked on this investigation have spent their lives trying to protect the people in this country and pursue within the law what it is that we are authorized to do.
You tried 2 cases, lost both of them, and then the one guilty plea you got, Kleinsmith is back to practicing law in Washington, D.C. today.
Yeah, that's beyond my control.
Right, but the fact that you allowed that plea to occur, right, and then the punishment was insufficient. Yeah. The fact that you didn't charge Andrew McCabe, you didn't convict the lying Democrats or the lying Russians, you didn't investigate Mifsud or the Mueller probe, even though, as we sit here today in black letter, that was your charge. Have you ever heard of the Washington Generals?
The Washington Generals, yes.
Yeah, and they're the team that basically gets paid.
He's lying, folks. He says he knows who the Washington Generals are. He don't know, and he gets caught. That tells me right there that he has no idea uh, who the Washington Generals is. He's just a yes man. He's just agreeing with Matt. He's like, yeah, okay, I agree. Yeah, I know them guys. I know who you're talking about. It's a basketball team that plays against Harlem Globetrotters that never wins. For the backstory on this, they play the Harlem Globetrotters, kind of an exhibition game, and the Harlem Globetrotters just run circles around them because they got all these fancy spinning the ball tricks and these flip tricks and everything. And so the game is set up for this team to lose every time they play. It's part of the exhibition. And if Durham had knew who the Washington Generals were, he wouldn't have answered that way. So he obviously is not just a yes man; he's a liar.
Paid to show up and lose, right?
Well, I'm sure that the players who exert blood, sweat, and tears don't view it that way, but you might.
I think they do. I think they do because the job of the Washington Generals is to show up every night and to play the Harlem Globetrotters. And their job is to lose.
I'm sorry, of a different, I was thinking of a different.
Yeah. So their job is to lose. And I'm kind of wondering, and it just seems so facially obvious that it's not what's in your report that's telling. It's the omission. It's the lack of work you did. And for the people like the chairman who put trust in you, I think you let them down. I think you let the country down. And you are one of the barriers to the true accountability that we need.
Absolutely.
Do I get to respond to that or comment on that? Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've ever investigated a crime.
I don't know that you have. You didn't investigate these, Mr. Durham. How about Andy McCabe? Did you charge him? Did you investigate him?
Gentlemen, time has expired. The witness can respond, and then we'll move on to our last.
I don't know, sir, whether or not you've ever had occasion to try to investigate crimes under the rules and regulations and under the Constitution that we're bound by. We can gather evidence in particularly lawful ways. Can't charge people because we might think something. We can charge people.
You didn't investigate. You didn't investigate the Mueller team wiping their phones, and you won't tell us who gave the orders because you're protecting those people.
Gentlemen's time has expired.
Boom. Matt Gaetz tore his ass up. What do you think, folks? Tell me what you think in the comment section down below about Durham. Everybody have a great day. Good news about Adam Schiff.